pretty much every Vella author uses, or at least one would hope. And so one of the things that now that all of us have been on Vella for a little while now, one question we were asking ourselves is it time to do spin-offs of different link trees, and at what point do you take your one monolithic link tree and actually break that up? And obviously there's not one single right answer for this, but I'm really kind of curious to see what all of you, what your experience is in terms of, what's the best strategy for that.
I know some things that I really hate, but people do.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Yeah. Let's start with the negative. That's our strength.
Yeah.
They'll have a link on their link tree to my Vellas, and then they have this very complicated, impenetrable page that lists all of them, where they've gone to a web page basically, or they send me to their Amazon page list instead of just listing the damn books where I can go look at them,
Or I can't tell which one is KDP and which one is Vella, it's like, here's a Vella, here's another Vella, here's an Amazon book, here's a sign up for my Patreon page, here's another Vella, and it's just it's a convoluted mess. And my God.
It may be that they can't figure out how to slide them around and make headings and all that kind of stuff. I think I did actually pay a little bit of money to $10 or something so I could rearrange it myself. But
I rearrange mine all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Whatever I want to be on the top, Yeah,
I do a weekly featured Vellas, and I put two in the featured section every week.
I put whatever ones I've updated most recently each month up there too. Yeah.
That's a good idea too. Yeah. I put the ones I want everybody to read that week, because I know whenever somebody
at the top
goes in, they're going to click the very first one. So yeah.
So and I really like Charlotte's point though, that like how convoluted and people just like, I hate it when it's like, okay, there's 2 books that are from KDP and now there's a Vella and now there's 2 more KDP. It's like, I don't know. It's very off-putting. So
how do we arrange? Do we go by genre? Do we go by what's newest? Because some of us have quite a few stories up there, and nobody wants to read a link tree that's this long.
Right, and that's what mine's getting to now, and I really I need to break down. Yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever you do, Gail. I always just
that's a good
confession. I always just look at what Gail does and just imitate her.
Always the best one.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, so does it make sense? Does it make sense to just do a link tree for each genre? But what if you have some genres that are like a lot, like let's say I've got 15 sci-fi and 15 fantasy, but only like 2 romances. So what do I do with those poor little piddly, lonely romances? Do I make a whole separate link tree just for those, or what do I do?
Again, what do we do? Or maybe a couple of genres, because right now I've got 3 genres in one and 4 in another.
Right.
So that's with kind of interconnected. Does that work? I don't know.
Once I release the Thieves of Fate game, it's getting its own link tree, because the majority of people are not going to want to have to scroll through all my role-playing game crap to get to fiction. So that's automatically getting its own link tree.
You got so many Johnny Hardrock.
Yeah.
That is the right name, isn't it?
Hardwood.
So it's okay, darling. Yeah. I still get fairy cat mother mixed up sometimes. I'm like cat fairy individual. Yeah.
Anyway, you got you need a link tree for just that.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And
and I have 30 years of Arcades Foul Robin going up pretty soon too. So I mean that's I think I've got something like 27 or 28 novella length books in that. So I mean that's going to get its own link tree too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm thinking in terms of some of the stuff on mine. Granted, I don't have the stuff y'all have, but I do have various author interviews and all that kind of crap. There's no reason I could have one link that says find out more about me, and then there's got links of, I can even put that on my website, to just go to, if you want to find out about me, because how many of the people that are reading my stuff want to know about me? I don't know.
But why not at least have the option for them though? Yeah.
Right. Rather than having all those separate links
Mm-hmm.
on my Linktree. So that's one of the things. But I like the idea of going in every week and saying, okay, here's the featured Vellas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I do. I like that. I like John's idea though of putting up the different. These are the ones I've updated.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really nice too.
I like that too.
But I mean, since I update almost everything, it's not going to work for me. But yeah, especially this next month, every single Vella that I don't have that it's not completed is getting at least one episode put up.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty excited about that.
Well, and I like those like menus that you post. How like you give the person a preview, like next week, here's what's coming.
Yeah,
that's
when
really
I get
cool.
the dates right. That's pretty awesome.
Well,
too.
yeah, I wasn't gonna give you any hard time about that.
Oh, I laughed so hard over that. I almost like peed my pants. It was funny. Like I'm writing with a time machine. I'm just like Gail now. Just keep imitating her.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like I don't know. Yeah, so once it reaches a certain length, you break it apart. It sounds like it makes sense to either do like Charlotte said, have just one link to all your non-Vella stuff or to your author website if they want to know more about you,
right?
Or even I guess maybe a separate link tree with just all your about me stuff might be good too.
Every one of these is going to require a separate email address, but that's not too difficult. I've already got like 4 or 5 anyway, so I can just link them to those. Another way to do it, of course, would be if you have a series like what Charlotte said. I need to do a Johnny Hardwood page on its own.
Yeah.
Separate it from the rest of my mysteries and thrillers because I have more mysteries and thrillers coming. Like row A is not Johnny Hardwood, but it's sitting there in mystery thriller with the whole Hardwood case files.
So like with a certain depth, like for example, your Johnny Hardwood, how many Vellas do you have or books in that series combined?
Currently, 11.
Okay.
3 of them are complete. 2 more are about to complete. So yeah.
So once your series hits, you think maybe 4 or 5 or to 10 books, that's when it makes sense to have your own separate link tree for it.
I would say when it starts to feel cluttered on the page would be when I would do it. And for me, it's starting to feel really cluttered. When I go on and I click and it's just like, oh my God, just scrolling. Jeez. Because I've got 24, and I'm actually behind you and Gail right now in terms of like how many I've produced. So I can only imagine what y'all's trees would look like in, cases like that. So, I mean, I've got, and because I'm going to be releasing several more pretty soon, because we are on our race to 50, John.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So whenever I start releasing more and more and more, it's going to get even worse. And so right now I'm starting to kind of plan out what's going to be released and then just starting to figure out what needs its own page at this point. Yeah, because I'm going to release several more in the Boomtown novella series as well pretty soon.
I do wonder, maybe is it possible though if you bought a better account or membership from Linktree, would they allow you to do multiple link trees in that situation?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
I haven't looked into it either.
Okay. But Charlotte, you said you did get like you bumped up to one higher level, like from the free level.
Yeah, and it wasn't very expensive. Like I said, I think I paid them $10.
I just want to be able to do a custom background.
Custom background, yeah.
I would love to be able to do a custom background.
Yeah. So what all did that $10 buy you? I guess is what I'm asking.
And is it $10 a month or is it $10 just in the flat fee and boom, you're done?
I think it was maybe $10 a year.
Oh, that's not bad. I'm paying a lot more for like things like BookFunnel per year. So
yeah. Oh, I wanted to say something about that.
Wait. That's another video.
No, you can say. Go ahead. Or at least touch on.
I've been following Lydia Shearer, and she uses them a lot. She must be spending millions on her advertising. But I like her books, and I bought them. I got an email from her yesterday. She has a new novella out featuring her talking cat. I could pay $11 to Audible for the audiobook, or I could pay her $7 through BookFunnel to get the same 303-hour book. Guess which one I did?
I can only imagine.
It was very quick. I downloaded it. I hadn't
Yeah.
listened to it yet, but I thought if I could get people to say, "Oh, I want to go read your audiobook and I'm willing to pay less than I have to pay Audible,"
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you're not
it
giving
might be
money
worth
to Amazon.
$100 a month to $100 a year to me to do.
Mhm.
I just need to figure out what to do with it, which has been my marketing problem all along. I'm talent, not marketing.
Yeah, exactly. I know the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you have any thoughts on that, but that just, I thought, okay, I came off the hip. It's a writer I've already read. I know I like her books. Yes, I'd rather pay $7.15 or 11 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, does she have a Linktree? Speaking of Linktree.
not that I know of. I don't know. She's not doing Vella. She's doing
Yeah.
Kindle books, I guess. Or actually, I think everything I've gotten of hers has been an audiobook, which I bought directly from her.
Hmm.
Actually, some of them were Kindle because I do sort of vaguely remember reading them on my Kindle.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, because
Okay.
some people have Linktrees that's almost all regular Kindle stuff and
Yep.
novellas. I've seen
Yep.
Linktrees like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there are people who do Linktrees that aren't writers at all.
Right.
One
Yeah.
of
Right.
the,
Sure.
I got a friend she's been studying. She wants to be a coach, and this website says, well, you don't need a Linktree because you've already got everything you need for a Linktree built into the website. You don't have to pay somebody for something else. So
Mm.
and they're not doing Vellas at all. I mean,
Hmm.
ebooks maybe to sell their services. I don't know, but
Yeah. I
anyway,
love the simplicity of Linktree. It's so much easier to just update it frequently than having to update a website.
Exactly.
So I don't know. That's why I've gravitated towards that so much. But
yes, my website that's been up for 15 years, and I don't think I've updated it in the last 5.
Oh, Charlotte, my webpage is a landing page for my mailing list. I don't even have, I have like 0 presence there, so I don't feel too bad.
so
But
it sounds like the just to wrap up
book club, right?
the just to wrap up this topic, it sounds like our takeaways, the main ones anyway, are multiple link trees almost are a sure bet. You almost should definitely be doing that. Do separate link trees for either your genres or even for certain series. Don't clutter your link tree with not like non-related stuff. Keep like with like, and just make sure they're not too damn long. I think that's pretty much covers the basics, right?
Yeah.
That's enough. Yep.
All
Mhm.
right.
Sounds reasonable to me.